In the heart of a forgotten land stood the village of Ndelu, surrounded by thick forests and nourished by a mighty river whose waters gleamed like molten gold in the sun. The people of Ndelu lived in peace and abundance, their farms rich, their children strong, and their fishermen always returning with baskets full of fish. It was said that their blessings came not from the gods above, but from a being beneath the waters, a mermaid known as Nwanyi Nmiri. No one had ever seen her fully. The elders said she appeared only to those pure of heart, and even then, only under the light of a full moon. To most, she was a shimmer beneath the surface, a sweet melody carried by the wind, or a faint ripple that appeared when no breeze blew. Every year during the festival of the river, the villagers would gather by the banks to offer gifts, palm wine, fruits, songs and dances, to honor Nwanyi Nmiri. In return she blessed their land. But time changes all things. When the old chief of Ndelu died, his son Obidike became the new ruler. Unlike his father, Obidike was not content with peace. He had seen traders from faraway lands, men who carried gold, silk and strange machines, and he wanted Ndelu to be like them. He began to question why the people gave gifts to the river but never received treasures in return. "The mermaid blesses us with food and rain," said the village priest. Obidike laughed. "Food and rain do not make a man powerful. I want more. I want the mermaid's secret. I want her power." The priest warned him. "The river gives freely, but if you take without asking, it will remember." But Obidike's heart was already blind with greed. One night, under the light of a red moon, he gathered a group of men. They carried a net woven with golden threads, said to capture spirits. The villagers begged them to stop, but Obidike silenced them. "If the mermaid truly rules the river, then I will make her serve me." They crept to the riverbank as the moon cast its bloody glow on the water. The air was still, heavy with an unseen warning. The men threw their net into the river. For a moment nothing happened. Then the water began to churn violently. The ground shook. A cry, half human, half something ancient, rose from the depths. The net grew taut, and when they pulled it in, the world seemed to hold its breath. There she was, Nwanyi Nmiri, the mermaid of Ndelu River. Her hair flowed like black silk, her eyes shimmered like moonlight through water, and her skin gleamed with scales that caught every color of dawn. The men trembled. Obidike stepped forward, trying to speak boldly though his voice shook. "Give me your power, spirit of the river," he demanded. "Make me the richest king in all the lands." The mermaid gazed at him, her voice calm and echoing like a song from another world. "You cannot own what flows." But Obidike did not listen. He ordered his men to bind her to a sacred tree in the village square, declaring that she would bring them fortune whether she wished it or not. That night, as the villagers hid in their homes, the air grew cold. The sky turned dark, and thunder rolled without rain. By dawn, the river had turned the color of ash. Fish floated lifeless on its surface. The wells filled with black water, and the farmlands cracked open like dry bones. The people cried out, running to the chief's hut for help, but Obidike stood helpless as the curse spread. He confronted the bound mermaid, shouting, "Lift this curse. You are powerful. Undo what you have done." She looked at him with sorrow, not anger. "You took without giving. Now the river remembers." The villagers gathered, terrified and desperate. Among them was a young maiden named Neca, a quiet girl known for her songs. As a child, she often sat by the river, singing to its waves. The elders said the river once hummed back to her. Seeing the suffering around her, Neca stepped forward. "If the river remembers, then perhaps it can forgive," she said softly. She approached the mermaid, knelt beside her, and began to sing an old song, one her grandmother had taught her. It was the lullaby of the river, a melody that once called rain and peace to the land. As Neca sang, the wind softened, and the clouds above began to break apart. Nwanyi Nmiri's eyes filled with tears. She reached out a trembling hand and touched Neca's forehead. "One heart of purity can cleanse 1,000 sins," she whispered. Then, like mist before the morning sun, she vanished into the air. A great silence followed. The river began to shimmer again, clear and blue. The earth softened, and green sprouts rose from the soil. The curse had lifted. But Neca was gone. Only her voice lingered, faint but sweet, carried by the breeze over the water. When the people searched, they found her necklace floating on the river, glowing faintly. Obidike fell to his knees, weeping for his greed. From that day, he forbade any man to take from the river without offering thanks first. Years passed, and Ndelu became peaceful once more. But on nights when the moon was full, the villagers would gather by the river to hear the sound that echoed from its depths, a woman's gentle song. Some swore they saw her, a figure half woman, half spirit, her long hair gliding across the water as she smiled beneath the moonlight. And the children would whisper, "Listen, the river sings again."